There's a really interesting phenomenon that we've likely all experienced. It's a state where we are hyper-focused and where our performance level at whatever it is we're doing is exceptional. It's a situation where time itself seems to pass unnoticed and we're completely focused on the activity in which we're engaged. It's called flow state. And although people have likely been experiencing such a state since ancient times, the term flow was coined by the psychologist and professor Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi in 1975. Now, Csikszentmihalyi is a brilliant researcher himself, and he wrote a great book called Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience. It's the state often referred to as being in the zone, a period when we are completely absorbed in the task at hand. It's during these times of flow when we're performing our best and when we're actually feeling our best. It's the state when musicians are in the pocket or in the groove and effortlessly and unthinkingly executing a brilliant improvised solo, or when an athlete executes a flawless yet seemingly impossible performance. It's what Timothy Gallwey discussed in his book when talking about the inner game of tennis or the inner game of golf. Even race car driver Wayne Gardner, winner of the Australian Grand Prix, said, "During those last 5 laps, I had this sort of above-body experience where I actually raised myself up and I could see myself racing. It was a kind of remote control, and it's the weirdest thing I've ever had in my life." And after the race, he was asked, "How the heck did you do that?" And he said, "I have no idea." I'm sure this is what makes surfing such an enjoyable activity. And on a personal note, I've experienced a sustained flow state countless times while painting. It's truly one of the most enjoyable experiences possible. So if we've all experienced flow, and if we perform and feel our best during this state, the question is, how can we create and enter this flow state regularly? Well, Csikszentmihalyi and other researchers have a good understanding of exactly this. Here's a summary of what you can do to enter flow state. Number 1, you must have a goal or a purpose in mind. You can't achieve flow without a goal. This provides direction and structure. 2, we need to be focused on the task at hand. Nobody is going to execute brilliantly if they're distracted and multitasking, right? You don't see Olympic athletes or musicians checking their social media notifications during a performance. So develop single point attention. Turn off all distractions. Maybe start with a focusing exercise, perhaps closing your eyes and focus on breathing for a few minutes. Think of it like an athlete warming up. 3, get continuous and immediate clear feedback. A musician knows when she's playing the right notes. A painter knows how their brushstrokes are contributing to the painting. Immediate feedback on how we're doing helps us adjust our performance to maintain that flow state. And 4, lastly, it's important that you're doing the work in an environment that's a bit above your level of competency. Studies have shown that you want to be failing about 50% of the time, because too much repeated success and you'll get bored, and too much failure and you'll get frustrated. Both too much success and too much failure will take you out of flow. And that's easy to understand when you consider a competing athlete. If they're scoring nearly every shot, they're going to stop performing at their best level. Similarly, if they're failing nearly every shot, they're going to get frustrated. Now, there are a lot of benefits to spending time in flow. People describe these feelings of being completely involved in what they're doing. A real sense of ecstasy, great inner clarity, a sense of satisfaction, knowing that the activity they're doing is in fact doable, a feeling of serenity, and timelessness. Now you can learn more about flow by reading the book Flow by Csikszentmihalyi, and I'll also include a link in the notes to his TED Talk. I'll leave you with something Csikszentmihalyi said, which is, Enjoyment appears at the boundary between boredom and anxiety, when the challenges are just balanced with the person's capacity to act. So get out there and work near the edge of your limits and go with the flow.